All right, let's start the actual video here. All right, guys, you get to see the magic behind this. me. Yo, it's your boy, Seafoam Soldier. What's going on? Hope everyone's all right. Is there something about the ingestion? I just checked the ingestion settings. Let me check one more time, actually, as we haven't properly started yet. Let me see. Bob, what does it say to do specifically? YouTube stopped working. Go on, YouTube. Come on. Sorry, it's boring looking over there, isn't it? Although, I suppose it's just as weird watching you from a weird angle. DPC stuff. You see my wall of inspiration. Okay. Events. Control room. Ingestion settings. Nah, it's alright, we've got thumbnail. We've got select type of stream key. We've got ultra low latency supports up to 1080p and closed captions and thumbnail. They are the only options I've got in ingestion settings. They're no longer editable. The thumbnail can still be changed. So I can't even change the settings anyway. So there's literally nothing in there. Yeah. Okay. Right, okay, so I start. Sorry guys. Cheers for the patience. Okay, cool. Have you watched the episode, Cos, by the way? Oh, it's too low again. Damn it. Come on, camera. I need to get a good camera. If anyone knows a good YouTube camera, I like that I got a like on the stream already. It is top quality content. Please stop doing BB's rap, although it is her season. Okay, right. Yo, it's your boy, Seafoam Soldier. What gone with everyone today? Where did I put my notes? One sec. Go through it. Let's go through episode 3 of season 1 of Drag Race together. From the start to the end. You guys give your thoughts as we go. And for anyone we haven't chatted about season 1 with before, let me know what you think of the season generally and that as well. Because there's obviously a lot of changes. Things have changed over the last 10 years. But at the same time, how much of it is similar has surprised me. So I'm curious to see what you guys think of it after watching the later seasons, especially if you didn't watch the show from the beginning. If you went back and watched the earlier seasons, maybe even for the first time, I'm really curious to hear what you think. Okay, so the episode starts off with Chanel missing Tammy, which I thought was quite nice because one of the notes I wrote down towards the end was I still don't feel like the season on screen butter is iconic. It really is. I don't really feel like I know any of the Queen's personalities particularly well yet. It's strange, obviously, because it's a lot less fanfare in this season. I feel like we should know the Queens a lot better because most of the time it's just spent with the camera on the Queens. But still, at this point in the season, I've seen season 1 a few times now, and I've seen followed a few of them since the show and stuff. So, and obviously we have BB from All Stars 3. So I feel like that definitely influences our thoughts on all of them. But taking all that stuff away, just taking it in the context of season 1, I feel like we don't really know many of the Queens particularly well yet. We have some sort of snippets of some of their personalities, but even the ones we have snippets of, they're sort of we had I have a far better idea of James Mansfield's personality, unfortunately, from 2 episodes of season 9 than I do of even the most popular Queens on this season so far. So say Nina, I don't really know much about her from the show apart from her English isn't great, although her English is fine. So that's her whole arc so far that I've seen. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, my chat's just disappeared. Got to the bottom of Got to the bottom of the chat with Bob's new comment. Oh, here he goes back again now. Okay. Bob's saying, I agree about the way we are introduced to the Queens. So we don't get as much focus on them. And even when they have a story, it's just there, not repeated 4 times with dramatic music like nowadays. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I need that dramatic like the shade button noise to help me figure out what I'm supposed to be feeling. Maybe that's the issue. You plug it in and blow. Yeah, that was pretty good. Again, I feel like this episode was a good chance for them to show us more of their personalities, or I mean the producers. But even then, like, I still don't feel like we did see like a ton from them. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys think is going on. I really should have shaved before doing this. Keep it scruffy. Nina was great in this episode, definitely. I think she's great generally as well. But that's something like, even like, she's definitely one of the most popular queens, one of the ones who've had the most camera time in that. But even then, I just still don't feel like, I don't know, maybe because I haven't like talked about their backstories or like their current struggles in life or like much of anything really. Like I said, Nina's whole thing was like she hasn't really watched Oprah and she doesn't really know, like she doesn't think she's great at English. Like just not really much of a story. I don't know. Maybe I'm being kind of dismissive. Okay, my second note is Oprah Challenge means nothing to me. Again, like, you guys aren't from America who are currently watching. Like, Oprah is not a thing really over here, / I'm guessing in other European countries as well. Like, obviously we know of her and we know like basic facts, like she likes to give away things for attention. Like, she's really nice now, we know all that sort of stuff, but like I don't think many of us have sat down and watched 5 seasons of her show. So like the challenge means literally nothing to me. So yeah, it's kind of hard to like judge how like Oprah-esque they are. So I'm just going on like how good I think they did in terms of the challenge, like the challenges they had to do, I guess. Okay, so I've actually written this similar sort of thing quite a few times, but Chanel's eyebrows. Actually, Chanel's eyebrows as a dude are a thing, and they're a thing that doesn't make me feel happy inside. I don't know. It's not even that they're thin. I think it's a shape they're in. But then, like, when she paints, they're not as bad. They're still not like what is considered like great these days. But I get for the time period, it's a whole different style and everything. But I don't know. Like, I think it's a shape of them. She just looks very intense, and I think coupled with her personality, it's concerning to me. The Oprah show was broadcast in Greece. Okay, did you watch it then, Cause? Carl saying, hopefully Chanel is not watching. She would have words about your lack of appreciation for Oprah. She is very intense. Yes, she is. Bob said, Robert, okay, Bob, change your YouTube name. No one calls you Robert, do they? If they do, I'm sorry for disrespecting you. Nina Flowers in season 1. I struggle with English. Season 10, Rue. Nina, we've never had a Latina winner. Do you feel that pressure? Also, tell us how you felt when your mother died. Yeah, genuinely, yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair point. But I need that, though. That's what I mean. I need that struggle. Like, where's her bus stop moment, Okay, I respect it. I think it's a strong choice of Jade to decide to go down a blackface route. I don't really know what else to say about that. Just it was a strong decision that she ended up reneging on, probably for the best. But I respect that she just went balls to the wall with it. She's like, "Yep, black me up, girl." Yep. Although, like, again, skipping ahead a little bit, Jade was an absolute mess in the challenge. Like, I guess she made her outfit, which no one cared about, so congratulations. But like, her makeup though was horrific. Like, I know I've seen her in previous episodes, but I was actually like shocked in the transformation between her look in the mini challenge and her look in the main challenge, because it was just so much, like, it was so significantly better. And she seemed really confident, like, on camera, that she would like nail her look for the mini challenge. But obviously that didn't turn out to be the case. Yeah, exactly. Well, I love how long it took Jade to realise that she didn't need to do blackface. I know, but to be fair, we've all gone through that struggle, so it's nice to see someone on TV you can relate to. Chanel's worst thing is her long hair. You're a balding girl. Yeah. But she, like, I get it. Like, she wears a cap to cover it up, which is fair. But then, like, I guess just don't do a top knot because it's not helping the situation. Like, I get it. Like, don't be like shamed about that sort of stuff, I guess. But like, I know it's just intensity for me. So you got like hair pulled back in like a slick man bun. You got these like eyebrows that are like that, and you're like right in people's face, being like, "What are some of her quotes?" Like, always one of, like, you got like her up in your face, being like, "You're always one of my true fans." Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I just don't need that in my life, I think she is. I think, like, okay. Here's my tea on the sitch. I think she is like a nice person, but I think she just really struggles with the way she comes across. I don't think she means to be intense. I think she's just like, I think she just overthinks everything, you know, and it's sort of like ends up coming out in the way it's come out on the show so far, which is a shame. I think she's definitely confident to the point of maybe arrogance and maybe narcissistic to an extent. But I don't know. I don't think it's any of it's coming from a bad place. I think it's just like a combination of things that makes it unappealing. Because I say now she's just stupid. I don't think she's stupid. I think she's definitely somewhat intelligent. I don't know. I think think she's just not necessarily great at like picking up how other people may be seeing and perceiving her. I don't know. I guess different people have like different. I don't know. Like are better at that than others. Bob's saying Chanel started the trend of number one fans of artist shows bombing in challenges related to those artist shows. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Again, because she was like arrogant about a challenge. She's like, yeah, I'm Oprah's number one fan. Like me and Oprah, we're like this. Like, is it me? Is that Oprah on the screen or is that Chanel? People are always asking me that. You know, that's actually sort of like a approach challenge. So again, you expect great things from it, and then it was just like horrific, like really bad. Like, what was she wearing? What was that? Like, the weird thing was when I saw it on the mannequin. Again, I don't know much about Oprah, so I'm probably wrong. But I'm like, I could sort of see Oprah maybe wearing that in that. What's that latest movie she was in? Like Wizards of Oz, Wizards of Waverly Oz, or something like that. What was it? Cracking Time? That I feel like that was the name of it. I feel like she might wear that sort of thing in that sort of situation. Because it's like red, which I feel like is a color she probably wears, and like a magical land, maybe where like, or like a Hunger Games, like that could be like Oprah's outfit in the Hunger Games, you know? Like I could sort of see like partly where Chanel was coming from, but it still was not a good choice. And her whole look generally was really bad. They all look so terrible in the mini challenge. I don't really know how that happened. Bob saying, I thought All Stars 1 was interesting for that, to see that Chanel was still that intense, even when paired with Chad. Oh, again, like, I think All Stars 1 is a season I've watched for the least number of times because it just makes me sad. Like, I don't know, I found the whole season really uncomfortable. Like, no one seemed to be having fun. It just had a bad vibe to me. Like, so I don't know, I should go, it'd be interesting to watch. Maybe we should do All Stars 1 next, straight after season 1. I think it would be super interesting to see it. Like, see how the queens have progressed over, because it's quite a long time. It's like 3 years, and we expect our queens to have grown and progressed the All Star seasons we've been watching. So I'd like to see if that has, like, if that happened at all between season 1 and All Stars 1. It is lobster / Zoidberg realness for sure. Yeah, like I'm guessing you guys weren't a massive fan either. Carlos saying everyone stopped having fun when they were told they'd be competing in groups. Yeah, apparently they didn't have the budget for number of episodes, so the only way they could do the show was to do half a number of episodes, and the only way to do that is by like making the queens be in a team. Yeah, I get like doing it again. I get that, like, because obviously you sign up to go on a show, but you don't know what you're agreeing to really. I'd be pissed off if I was in that situation. Like, fine, put me in a group challenge once or twice with one other person, even, which is harder than a full group challenge, in my opinion. But to go for a whole show like tethered to someone else, like that wouldn't be good at all. I get it. I guess it'd be interesting watching All Stars 1 with that in mind as well, like how they must be feeling in that situation. But I think like when I was watching it, I just watched season 4. I'm like, oh my god, like this is such a great show, so much fun, having a lower minute. I can't wait for this to continue in All Stars, you know. And then I watch it, I'm like, oh, nah, this is worse. Come on, tell us how he teleports to Mars. Yeah. Okay, so Rebecca's anyone sewing an outfit? Sort of talked about that already. Yeah, Akasha's the absolute worst as well. See, I don't know. I think the difference between Chanel and Akasha, I don't really want to defend Chanel because I don't really like her. Again, I guess that's quite like a harsh thing to say. Like, I don't like what I've seen of her, you know. So I don't really want to defend her. But I don't know. For me, it seems like with Chanel, it's just coming from a place of like not being able to like read people's reactions and what people like want to hear properly. You know, like a bit of a place of like denseness, or like, I don't know, like her empathy skills aren't amazing potentially. But that's sort of what I'm reading her behavior as. Whereas Akasha, like Rue comes over and she's like, I can't remember. She asked like quite a general question, like, you know, what was it? Like something about how it's really nice that Oprah helps people in need. I think she might have asked a leading question, like, have you ever been in a situation where you could help someone? And Kasha's like goes on this a bit of a thing where she's like, yeah, I'm awesome. Like, I helped all these people. Like, people can stay with me whenever, like down and out. It's like, and she literally said, where is it? I'm a very giving person. Like, that's what I mean. I think the difference is like, I don't know. It's just like you just don't say that. Like, you can be a giving person, but I suppose there's no you can't not say it, but it just comes across as like really douchey. So I don't know, like I don't know. So I'm sort of like I don't know. For me, like it's hard to explain, but I feel like with Akasha, it comes more from like a place of awareness. Like I think Akasha knows like bitchiness. Like I don't know. I get like a bit more bitchy vibe from Akasha. Like she even says it right a couple episodes ago, where she's like, "Someone's got to be the bitch" or whatever. Whereas like she knows like she's not saying like the most likable. She's not making herself appear in the most likable way, but she's like, "Fuck it." Like I'm just gonna. I don't know. I don't know. Do you guys let me know whether you agree with what I'm trying to say or not? Yeah, I miss Tammy as well. I miss Tammy as well. I think Rebecca's lips are real. Okay, he's kind of hot as a guy. Rebecca, yeah, I don't disagree actually with you, Cots. Akasha, who? Yeah, fair. Although, like, based on what I said at the beginning, like, she's actually one of the ones I think who's had like the most personality in the show so far. Like, her personality is not great, but she's had like a fair amount of character development, I'd say. Carla's saying yes and no. She's amazed at herself all the time. Are you saying yes and no about Rebecca being kind of hot as a guy? What are you guys saying about Akasha? Bob, Akasha did the same with describing that she'd taken time off work. Babe, chill, this isn't a job interview. Yeah, exactly. That's sort of how I feel. Like, I don't know. Like, I think you guys know what I'm trying to say, right? I feel like you agree. I don't know. I'm going to tell myself that so I feel better about myself. Okay, 3-part challenge, which again is quite difficult. Okay, cool, Carlos. Bob's saying, I genuinely always forget that Jade and Rebecca were on season 1, but I always remember Akasha and Tammy. I totally forgot Akasha. I didn't always remember Tammy. Who goes down about Akasha? Let's move on. Yeah, fair point, cause I can't say Akasha's great TV. I like her. Why don't I? I feel like for an episode she's great TV, but she's such like a stereotype, like the stereotypical sort of like bitchy one that she's just sort of I don't know. I agree. She's sort of a bit boring to be honest to me. Okay, but this is a 3-part challenge, which is like again quite intense. I expected season 1 to be like easier. Although like the like super mini segments I have to do, I guess it sort of is one challenge in terms of being like a TV show, but there's 3 different parts to it, so it's quite difficult, I guess. And on that note, I've written down that reading is fundamental, but this shit difficult. Like, yeah, it's like ridiculous. The teleprompter stuff, like, I would really struggle with that. Like, we all know from these streams that like I'm not the most eloquent, but my vocabulary is not horrific. I don't feel. But like I would really struggle with that teleprompter script they were given, and a few of them like English isn't their first language, so I thought that was kind of harsh. And like the way it was sort of done was like it wasn't fully taking the piss out of them, but it was a bit like, oh look at them, they can't even like read this teleprompter script, like stupid men in wigs. What you doing with yourselves, And that's the sort of vibe I was getting. Thanks, I am eloquent as fuck, tbh. Carla saying, but she failed and made it work. Nevertheless, she 12. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. But what am I saying? Yeah, the teleprompter thing, that was difficult. Like, I think they all did really well, to be fair. Like, most of them. Like, I think Akasha didn't. But they all failed that segment, but they all gave it a good shot. Like, even Chanel, I'm like, okay, she's getting most of this. Like, she stumbled like right at the end of one segment, but it was difficult. Like, maybe I'm just an idiot. Well, no, I'm an idiot, but like, what do you guys think? I think they're asking a lot of them. Yeah, I've written down Jade, you look horrific, but we sort of talked about that already. Yeah, Nina. I think my favorite part of the whole episode was Nina's ending to the show. She's like, "This is your name. Good night." I like that. That was very Alaska, like pre-Alaska sort of vibes. Although she didn't think it out. That was great. That should be her thing. Like, why is that not her catchphrase? Okay. Oh, Rebecca's wig. I wrote down. It was hella shiny. Yeah, it wasn't good. Oh yeah, Akasha again was rude to the guest. She didn't stand up when he came in, which before Tori and Dean, mentioned it. Obviously, like it rang alarm bells because it is just rude. Again, like British people and manners is like a big thing. Like yeah, I know it just really rubbed me the wrong way when she didn't stand up. But then she stands up right at the end and just walks away. Like I'm done. I'm out of it. Like peace out, babes. She's like this again. She doesn't act like she gives a shit about anyone, like but herself and about like people knowing about how great she is at things. Again, like I'm sure that's not the case with her, but it's sort of how she's coming across. Bob's saying it was a tough challenge, especially as it was a once only thing. Yeah, that's a really good point to make. That was ridiculous as well because it was really difficult, and then I couldn't even do any retakes. And like in every other like later season, we see. Actually, on that note, I don't know if they could do retakes. I think maybe at points they couldn't do retakes. I'm not really sure because I didn't really see like it was difficult, like weirdly edited. So you didn't actually see like the final completed version of their like TV reel or whatever. So I'm not really sure how it all worked out, to be honest. But if they didn't get a chance to do it more than once, like think of how things pan out in later seasons. Like they have to do it like 20 times before they can even start to get it right. So that was really like asking a lot of them. Like I said, that's something that surprised me about this season, is just how difficult and how much I asked of the girls. Actually, again, like for the group challenge last episode, they asked to like make outfits and like do choreo and all this sort of stuff. I guess for season one, like quite a lot of it was asked of them, in my opinion. Sorry. Carlos saying this challenge was designed to make them fail and make great TV. Yeah, exactly. It was like a bit transparent. And Bob saying genuinely love everything about Nina's episode and always. Yep. And Cos agrees with Carlos. Carlos loves Nina. Connie Chan was great. Bob, I love that the editing was super catty even back then. Kasha, I think I did pretty well. Proceeds to fail. Yeah. But then, like again, like if you're producing a show and you have that footage of Akasha, and she's probably like a dick as well on set, you're like you're not going to be giving like you won't be jumping at a chance to like portray her in the best way possible, I guess. To be fair, okay. Yeah, I said, oh my god, Chanel, shut up, please. Obviously, because you were always one of my true fans. I do love that actually catchphrase as well. Yeah, you guys, I feel like you guys have always been my true fans, to be fair. You're welcome. That was great. But yeah, like Tori was answering one of her previous, like one of Chanel's previous questions, and she jumps in and asks 20 other questions. And it didn't really make sense. Like, it's the sort of thing I do sometimes, I guess. We like stumble over what you're trying to say, but I don't know. But again, to me, it seemed like it's coming more from a place of like wanting the attention to be on her, sort of thing. Like she just overthinks everything, I think, a lot, and like it's just not going well for her. And she's not realizing it. I think one of the most frustrating things about Drag Race is when queens don't like have any sort of self like realization or self awareness, and that's definitely the case with Chanel. Hopefully, I can't remember if she does. Like I know I heard on Race Chaser podcast, which is like part of the reason I wanted to do season one, that she trips on purpose in the future episode. I think maybe probably next episode because she was told to be vulnerable. So like that's not really like any growth, to be fair. I'm interested to see if she does like grow in terms of this stuff as the season progresses, or even through All Stars 1. But I'm doubtful based on what I've seen so far. Okay. Tori and Dean have A+ manners. They do have A+ manners. Again, like manners are important to me. Ironically, despite this like stream where I'm just tearing everyone apart. So yeah, I don't know anything about Tori and Dean. I thought they would like trash or like from trashy TV. That's like I don't really know anything about them. Hills, right? We're on the hills, I guess. I was confused. I thought Tori and Dean were who's the one with that douchey dude? Like Spencer Pratt. Who's he married to? Heidi, someone? Like I guess I always thought Tori and Dean and Heidi and Spencer were the same until today. Maybe they were all on the hills together. I'm not really sure. But their manners were great and they seemed like nice people who again were very like socially aware about how they should behave. The opposite to Chanel and Akasha. So again, it's not really surprising that those two didn't do very well on this challenge. Yep, Chanel never grows. I'm not surprised. Dean is hot. Yep, he is. Carla's saying, I'm completely lost in this conversation. Sorry, that's me. I'm jumping around everywhere. Again, that's why it's good to have like another person, either with me or on camera, because it makes me not jump around as much. I'm sorry. Do you want me to explain anything again or like differently? Let me know. I'll see if I can remember what I was saying. Again, I'm watching the revealed version of the season, and I don't know. I probably would have noticed, I think, but they did point out specifically that there was a wig on a fire hydrant. Yeah, and I don't know who those people are either, to be honest. Okay, so yeah, there's a wig on a fire hydrant. I'm not sure why, because like someone must have done this. I guess it's like they're walking down the street and it's just like, there's one of the wigged fire hydrants. That's relevant to our show. Let's get it on camera. So they must have gone out and bought a wig and then put it on a fire hydrant. And then I don't know. I just imagine like a cameraman being super proud of himself. Like, yeah, like that's really profound that I've done that. I can't wait for that to go on the show. I'm gonna like show all my friends that I've done that. I don't know, like why would you do it? Why was there a clip of a wig on a fire hydrant? Does it mean that drag queens are our emergency relief? They get us wet. They flood our basements. Like I don't really know. I just feel like there's more behind it than what that 5-second clip we saw of it. Okay, causes educating the children. Tori Spelling starred in Beverly Hills 90210. Okay, and Heidi, is it Heidi and Spencer from The Hills, right? And they're trash, but Tori isn't trash. Tori is a respected actor. I don't know. Because didn't have a reality show as well. I feel like they did. Her dad was a famous TV producer. Spelling. That does ring a bell. Again, I feel like I should know this stuff. Okay, so runway. One of my main notes from this runway is that Ru actually looks really good this episode, I thought, which really surprised me based on what we've seen so far and what's coming up. But yeah, I was really impressed with Ru's look. Again, it wasn't like, it wouldn't be an amazing look if it was like a season, 8, 9, 10 look. But for the time period, and compared to some of her looks, like when Mafia Hansen left, like that period was rough. So compared to some of those looks, her look this episode was great, in my opinion. Bob saying, Bruce says, wow, way more than I remember. In season 1, I remember, especially on the runway. Does she? I don't really remember. Yeah, cause it's confirming what I thought about Heidi and Spencer. Yes, let's go through the queens one by one. You guys tell me what you thought their looks as well. Again, I find it a bit difficult because like none of these are the strongest looks we had by far this season so far. But even then, like nothing was amazing to me or particularly exciting. So I might need you guys to help me to like elaborate on some of these looks. So we start off with Chanel. Sorry, my throat's a bit dry. Whose makeup was pretty impressive. Again, her makeup's always cute, like polished. I don't know if I particularly like it, but like it was decent makeup. The look is obviously very bold. She obviously very much was trying to shock people. I don't know if it was like the butter filter, but the boob plate looked pretty good to me, which is something which can be one of my pet peeves if it's like really obvious. It didn't look too obvious to me. So I was relatively impressed with that. It was just a lot though. Like, I mean, it suits her again. Like, go with what you do well. She is an intense person generally, so this intense look sort of worked really well for her in my opinion. Like again, like if she tries to do like a soft, like who did like when Roxy Andrews tries to like a little girl look, like it's just not working for me. She's not like a really soft little girl like person. So again, if Chanel did something like that wouldn't work. But like this sort of intense Medusa, like, I'm like, yeah, like I see that for you. I was into it. I mean, it's one of the best looks of the season, right? So I think that's a pretty general consensus. Bob's saying the breasts on Chanel were overkill. Cos saying weird. Carl saying Ursula falls in a spaghetti plate realness. yeah, it was. I don't know, like I don't know. Again, like after Aquaria, like queens from more modern seasons, like I don't think that look would have been particularly impressive or particularly like that's flawlessly executed. Like I can't see Queen ever doing better than that. That's definitely not the case. But I think comparatively for the time and stuff, it was really good. Again, like it's not my favorite, like it's not for me 100%, but I can see that it was a good look. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. On Gina, bless her, good makeup. I like the makeup. It was like seems to be more makeup than usual, like more of a draggier sort of look. But the dress was like super boring, like pedestrian. I wrote down. Like don't know, like it wasn't very drag, you know. Of course, it's booting on Gina or boring on Gina, which I feel like is potentially worse. And like a single Barbie in the hat is like nothing after you know, that we've been blessed with Angie. I don't know, like I don't really get what she was trying to do with her life, to be fair. Again, like my thoughts on my update on Giant, she's one of the ones I've been most interested to, like, I don't know, monitor this season. Like I do like her, but I'm still not getting where everyone's like, oh, Team on Gina, FTW. Like she's fine. She's fine. I don't know. Bob's saying I don't really get how Angina's look was any different from any of her others. Yeah. Carlos is saying like the shoes and the fascinator, mere for the rest. I don't remember the shoes. It was before though. What was I saying? What was before? I can't remember. Sorry. Oh, but are you saying it was different to Angina's looks from the previous two episodes? Because I can't remember them. To be fair, her look for the mini challenge is pretty good. I mean, it suited. It was a bit again. It was very newscastery when that wasn't really a challenge, but it worked. It worked. Rebecca, I've written down similar notes to Angina. Really like good makeup, but the dress was a little pedestrian, like not too exciting, like a pretty standard like Asian Oriental looking dress. Fancy Barbie situation. Bob saying for me, it's the same fluffy loofah shape. Yeah, it was like very much like it was very much like alpha Miss Fangy, wasn't it? Like alpha artwork for Miss, like placeholder art for Miss Fangy. And everyone bashed Miss Fangy's dress. So like I don't get where everyone's like, oh, Angina's the best, you know? Cause he's schmooting Rebecca. What's schmoot again in between a shoot and a boot? A shoot and a toot? What was schmoot again? No, we like decided this, didn't we? Was it in between a toot and a boot? I can't remember, guys. Remind me. On China, between a boot and a two. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. Wait, who are we schmooting again? I've lost the chat. Rebecca Schmoot. Yeah, no, actually, you know what? Fair. I would totally agree with that. Like, it was not bad at all, but it just wasn't memorable or interesting to me. Nina, what we're saying for Nina. Carlos is saying Rebecca is like a much less interesting Tatiana, who you don't really like. Fair. Again, she's not really got any personality. I still can't guarantee you by the time I get to the next episode, I'm going to know the difference between Jade and Rebecca. They still merged into one for me in terms of not having any personality, but it's been shown on the show so far. Also, on that note, we need to talk about this. We'll talk about the end because we've done to break this stuff up. But have you guys seen Pearl and Hey Queen? That tea she spilled at the very end was great, and I want to talk about it with you guys. So let's get back to that at the end, please. Yeah, Bob's totally agreeing with Carlos. Yeah, I agree, Carlos, completely as well. Cos is saying he loved the hair. Well, I thought it was shiny again, wasn't it? The hair for her final look. No, hair for Nina. Sorry, yeah, Nina had shiny hair, but it actually really worked. Nina's look was great in my opinion. Yeah, we talk about that tea in a second. Yeah, Nina, bold, striking, really into it. I felt like it was a bit of like unintentional tribute to Tammy Brown. Like it seemed like very like Tammy-esque to me to look, but obviously more polished. But I really liked it. I think it's really good, even if it's like done in a later season. Again, I think how versatile Nina is, which I think they showed like, in a few little clips. But, like how versatile her looks are really impressive to me. Like she still has. Is it Queen? Other queens should take note. She has a strong identity. Like you know, it's Nina look instantly when you see it, but it's still very versatile at the same time. Like you don't need to go as simple as always wearing a grey wig. You know, you can still very much have like a look and a brand while still being extremely versatile. I don't know, I'm just extremely impressed with Nina. Cause saying I remember that Tatiana rejected being called a new Rebecca Glasgow. Oh, interesting. Bob saying Nina talented, brilliant, breathtaking, never the same. The hair was amazing, Carlos. I agree. Yeah. So all like we're all tooting Nina around. Jade, I like it so much better than previously. Oh, what the fuck was that? Someone's like pissing in the corner. I got a tracker thing. I'll turn the camera around the end and show you. But just saying it's gonna rain a lot tomorrow. So if you're not in England, you're welcome. Okay. So Jade got tuck shamed, and it's kind of harsh. I didn't really notice it. I kept showing a clip of like her tuck, but it didn't look particularly meaty to me. Like maybe I was looking in the wrong place, but it looked pretty flat to me. What do you guys think? Yeah, James was nice. Basically, a kaftan. That's what Bob said. I totally agree, Bob. It was like like in MMOs where like maybe like the dancer class of character, maybe Octopath was influencing me, but like old school MMOs, like it was like a basic dancer armor set. Like it wasn't like too fancy or like too intricate, but it was like obviously like a thing. So like it was like basic level, like level 1 to 5 dancer armor. Is that reference like non-existent reference too niche? I don't know, but I think because of my like the way I look at life like a computer game, I liked it. Bob is definitely a fashionista. Of course, you should know this by now. Come on. She can't say she's like a pregnant lady with no baby bump. What do you mean by that? In terms of she's wearing something super comfy. But also, no one's mentioning the tuck. Like, was it? Let's have a vote. Was it a meaty tuck? Yes or no? I'm saying no. Bob, Bob. You are fashion. You are the Violet Chachki of Croydon. Everyone's always said it. BB, okay, great. This is one of BB's iconic looks. Like we've seen her in it before. It's BB through and through. Like especially, it's difficult because we've seen it on All Stars 3, and like I'm bored of this. You guys see my All Stars 3 streams. Like I'm so bored of like the same look she always does, and this was like that look again. But obviously, it's not again because it's the first time we've seen it technically. And this was probably the best iteration of it in my opinion. Like I think this particular time it was sorry, comments keep disappearing temporarily until I click. I think it's potentially the best like iteration of her like big Africa like jumpsuit thing. It was great. I like the growls and runway and stuff. Like she sold the look. It was really well executed. The makeup was really cool. She was the best look this episode by a mile, I thought personally. Bob saying, I personally thought it was the studding sequence of the tuck bit that made it look bigger. Okay, so you're saying it was meaty. Because it's saying, have you watched Fashion Photo Review of Violet and Cutty yet? No, because I've been away. I've only just got back to watch the episode and do this stream from hanging out with some old friends in Bath. So I haven't had a chance yet, but I kept seeing it pop up and I'm like, I need to watch that, but I haven't had a chance yet. Is it good? I'm just really excited Catty's in drag again. I don't know, I didn't realize she was back in it already. So I'm excited to watch that. Although it's like they're doing it on someone I don't care about from what I can remember. BB Toot from me. Akasha Slip and Spin Hunty. We talked about it already. But again, Akasha's another one. Like her eyebrows are not good. I get thinner eyebrows were a thing in I was gonna say in the 90s, but in like the whatever 2000s, like mid 2000s, which is why I didn't fare particularly well. But like it's just more the way they're done. Like you can have thin brows, but like hers like super surprised, like very like semicircle, and they just again it makes it look super intense and not. I wasn't really getting video how like it was like her look she always does, and it wasn't good. I don't know, like it was fine, but it wasn't good in my opinion. Cos saying BB was iconic, and Bob is agreeing. Cos is booting Akasha. Bob is saying I really thought Akasha just didn't match up to the rest. Yeah, I agree. She was obviously behind. I mean, she's just lucky. Not lucky. Like she's obviously talented, but she had a great lip sync last sewed. But apart from that, her talent-wise, she is significantly below the rest. It's quite obvious. Which again, I think is part of the reason for her attitude because she's sort of compensating for that in a bad way. I don't know. That's everyone. So again, nothing particularly exciting from this runway, but best. It's definitely best it has been all season. And we sort of talked about challenges earlier, didn't we? So I feel like that's it. I feel like it's still not really doing charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent because no one's really standing out. Well, we should do it. We should do it, right? We should keep the segments of the show going. So, guys, you know the drill by now. In the chat, award your CUNTs out to people, and we'll go through them. So, charisma, I am going to give to whose personality did we see the most? Probably Nina's. Even then, we didn't see very much from her. I think maybe Rue, because like it was quite like it's fun seeing him directing and watching the shows live. Like it was quite like a different side of Rue we haven't really seen in later seasons. So I might give my charisma to Rue. You know, Bob's giving it to Nina. So is Cos. Yeah, I was going to give it to Nina. I want to give Nina a different one. I am going to give uniqueness to Nina, based on what I said previously about how like having no like being really versatile with her looks, but yet still having a strong identity, and also being able to show like the versatility of doing a challenge like this, which I feel like isn't really in Nina's comfort zone. So I was impressed. I was giving it to Ghost of Tammy, and Cos is giving it to BB. Fair. And Carlos is giving it to Chanel. Also fair. Nerve. Come on, Nerve's got to be. Oh no, it could be Akasha. Yeah, okay. Nerve giving to Akasha because I've explained how neither Chanel and Akasha are coming across particularly well, in my opinion. But because of reasons I explained earlier, I'm going to give Nerve to Akasha because I feel like Akasha like is more aware of what she's doing than Chanel is, from my perspective. So yeah, Nerve is going to Akasha for me. You guys seem to agree. Carl's saying she gave me spaghetti and lobster about Chanel, which is always good. And Bob's giving N to Akasha for holding on for a third lip sync. Oh shit! I actually missed a lip sync because I was like, I set up the stream and like chat to Bob whilst I watch a lip sync. But because of the issues with the stream, I didn't actually watch a lip sync. But yeah, fair. Okay. Carl's saying she will not stand for you, and when she's done, she's done. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that is some nerve. I kind of respect it. Like you do, you boo. Talent. Okay, tricky. Damn, I could have committed to Rue for actually having a decent look this season. BB then, right? Yeah, BB did do well all the way through. I think again, something that's so important in this show, again, even in the first season, which surprised me, is you have to be able to read between the lines of what they're asking you to do. Like obviously Jade couldn't do that, you know, and the queens that could, like BB, did do very well in the challenge. So yeah, T for BB for me. Cos is saying, God, Chanel is so horrible at lip syncing. I didn't watch a lip sync, but I take your word for it. I can imagine it was intense. Bob was saying T, the guest judge for her puns and random observations. She was cool. I like the dude as well. The dude was like harsh, and I liked it. Like he had his opinions. He was not afraid to share them. They're both pretty good. Okay, yeah, that's it, guys. Right? Do you guys have any like? Because I don't know. Because if you watch it, have you joined the live chat for season one? Or Bob, I don't think you have either. Have you? Sorry if I've forgotten because it's been a few weeks now. But you guys, what do you guys think of season one generally? If you've watched like this episode or the other two, like compared to like going back and watching this after watching later seasons? Yeah, I'm curious to know what you guys think of it. Sorry, the thing's just disappeared again. Come on, comments, come back. Immunity is such a weird thing to realize existed in season one. Yeah, no, I totally forgot about that as well. It is weird. And I don't think it really works for this sort of format of show particularly well. I guess I realized that I said bumped it off relatively quickly in later seasons. Sorry. Okay. Cool. Oh, wait. Sorry. Carlos is saying second worst season after All Stars 1, but we start somewhere. But cool. So, what are you thinking of? So you just said no horror games, por favor. Okay, all right, noted. That's the thing. I'm like trying to do what you guys are interested in watching, but also I can't just do Drag Race every single week. I am going to kill myself. Like it was fun watching this episode again for me. because I think I had a bit of a break, you know. I think I can probably bosh the rest of this season consistently because there's only like 4 or 5 episodes left. But after season 1, I have a break and do something else. And maybe All Stars 1, I'm thinking now, because again, that's probably the season I've watched the second least. No, sorry, the least actually out of all the seasons. So I've got like a bit of a fear of it. So I think it'd be fun to go back and watch it and see if I still hate it. Yeah, Carlos is right. It wasn't really a horror, but because like even if you're not into it, I would recommend the first half. Like it was just a laugh, and like I was saying during I think the second episode as well of that, like the second episode of it wasn't as good. But like the whole point of these Sunday things is just like to hang out and chat. But like it's cool. Like we have like a basis like Drag Race, or we're playing a game or whatever. So we have that to like do as well. But like we can chat about whatever. So while we're playing the game, we can chat about drag stuff. We can, like whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm happy to do that. Like my main aim is just to hang out with you guys every Sunday. But yeah, if there's anything like you want to do, like any games you want to play, like anything you want to watch, or we can just like talk about a certain topic, let me know. I'm very happy to do that. I don't like this new system though. It looks nicer, but I can't add people live stream wise, and the chat keeps disappearing, which is frustrating. You play Fortnite? I dig that. Yeah, Fortnite's a cool game. I haven't played in a few weeks, probably about a month now. They update it so fast. I'm curious to see all the new weapons and what the current new modes are and stuff. But yeah, I got loads of stuff on my Switch to play at the moment, so I've been quite busy as well, so I haven't had a chance to play games. But I do need to mix it up and play Fortnite again. So if you play on PS4, add me. We'll play together. We'll do duos because I warn you though, I'm not good. I'm good at like shooting, but I'm really bad at base building. So I played with my mate John, actually, who's been on the last couple of streams. And he's great at building and good at like sniping, and I'm good at like close range stuff, like and being gung ho. So I just like hunt someone down and like slash them to death, with a gun. Whereas here, like build a base, be more tactical. So if you play PS4 and they're happy for me to be like that, then we can play together. Yeah, horror games on PS4. Tragic. Yeah, I mean it was expensive. It was like 25 quid as well, and it had been well reviewed. But that was sort of the fun of it though, was like how janky it was, but it still had some cool points. Like I think I said at the end of it, like if a sequel came out, I would play it because like it had some cool concepts. It was the execution just wasn't great, and there's a lot of jank and a lot of annoying bits, but it was fun to play for mostly. So yeah. I'll definitely stream. I don't know if I need to figure out how to stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, because I want to stream a new Pokemon when it comes out. So that's definitely something I'll do. Probably on Sundays, but whenever. Yeah, and it was 25 quid. I think John said it's 25 quid. Check out the first half and find out. I did ask him, but I think it was 25 quid. Cool. So, I just love how your cat's never died despite being shot with a nail gun. Yeah, no, she was resilient. I think she must have like nailed her skirt down like along her thighs, so she must be used to the pain. I feel like she's a bit into like BDSM, oh, Carlos, not the smartest move. Although I don't know if I said, but like I kept seeing No Man's Sky for 5 quid everywhere. I kept meaning to buy it, but I forgot, and that's shot back up in price again because of the next update. So I do want to check No Man's Sky out. If I see it cheap anyway, I'll definitely grab it. And that could be quite fun to stream as well, because obviously it's different. Every playthrough is completely different, so that could be quite fun. New version super boring. Avoid. I'm just curious. If I get it for 5 quid, I'll check it out. Although the update is going to like take out all my space from my hard drive, isn't it? Because the game's been basically rebuilt from the ground up. But anyway, sorry. Scooting back to drag stuff. So Pearl and Hey Queen. I think I started off with season 7 discussions, and Pearl is one of my favorite queens. She's always been up there. I really like her vibe, her fashion. I still think is my favorite fashion style of any queen. Like Aquarius Mermaid looks my favorite look on Drag Race of all time. But just like Pearl's general aesthetic, like her consistent like style of aesthetic, I just love. It's just really me. Both like the style on the show and how she's evolved since then, wearing more like hippie sort of like hunter style stuff. I just really like everything she's done. Like her look was amazing on Hey Queen. Absolutely loved it. But more importantly, this tea she's built. Yeah. So Bob's saying it was super interesting. It's kind of confirming why she's been slowly getting more and more done with the show. Pearl was also on Hey Queen Cos is saying, I agree. Sorry, in case people haven't watched the show and people are watching this or watching it, non-live or whatever, I'll tell you what happened. Well, the best one, I don't saw my throat's a bit sore. So she was asked about the incident, like the have something on my face incident by Johnny on Hey Queen, and she was very like nice about the situation. I felt she didn't badmouth Rue. She did say like she felt it was inappropriate sort of thing, and like it was edited. Like Rue was like going in on her for a lot longer period of time. And also like we know I've seen her say in interviews, not on Hey Queen, that like it was refilmed as well. So I think the first time Rue said something harsher, like you've got absolutely no personality. How are you going to get through the challenge? But I think on the show it was put a lot more mildly. So Pearl didn't say that, which I thought was interesting. So generally, I thought like Pearl was pretty like nice about RuPaul, and she kept like justifying it, being like she's picking up Ru after that. So she sort of said like it wasn't a great incident, but Ru and her are cool, and like quite a lot of nice stuff about Ru. And then they played Hey Queen. So for Hey Queen, they played Look at Her. And the very last just about was RuPaul again. And normally at this point, when queens talk about someone on the main show, they just like regurgitate the same thing again. It's boring. But Pearl was like, I'm going to talk about something I've never talked about before. And she went in. She's like, I thought it was quite intense. She's like, so we're filming a promo. Ru was like filming a promo for the Cover Girls album with me. She didn't know she'd be there and stuff. And when the camera stopped filming, I was excited to tell Ru like how much she meant to me and how much I admired her, and it's basically just spill her heart out to her like in a really sincere way. And then Ru just really coldly said to her like, if basically like don't talk to me if we're not filming, sort of thing. What did she say? It's like it didn't happen if the camera's not rolling. I think it was that, which I think she probably meant it in a way to try and teach her a lesson, like monetize things. I don't really know, but like it just makes me really upset when like someone's being super sincere to someone and like it's not being like received. It's just like not only is it arrogant, but it's just like so dismissive. Like you're showing that person zero respect. Like someone's opening up to you and you're just completely dismissing what they're saying. And it's obviously something that's difficult to say. Like even if you're a confident person, to tell someone like really sincerely, like I've admired you my whole life, like I respect everything. You know what I mean? Like it's so difficult to say that. Like I remember, this is a super lame story, but a little bit of insight into my pathetic little life. So like there was an artist, she still does stuff, I think, called, I don't know how to pronounce her surname. I always pronounced it Amy Stubb. Growing up, but Stuart, I think, Studt, had a few hits in the UK. And I liked her album a lot. I remember like when I was designing games as a teenager, I had listened to it in the background, and there was a song called "It's Gonna Be Fine." I'm gonna be fine or something. I think it's gonna be fine, and like it's a really sweet little song, and it like really helped me out. Like it always made me feel better. I didn't like it wasn't my go-to necessarily, but like a song I listened to, like when I don't know, it helped me out basically when I was a teenager and I wasn't feeling great. I'm like, oh, it is gonna be fine. Cheers, Amy. Appreciate it, girl. And I saw her live a few years ago when I was working in London and doing like some new stuff, and she was really cool, and her new stuff was good from what I can remember. And I said to her like, "Cool." After the gig, I'm like, "Look, like I just wanted to let you know, like your song, I'm gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I think it is. Sorry, on your first album, like that helped me out a lot as a teenager. I just wanted to thank you for that." And she's like, she obviously like I think she's a very shy person. So she wasn't over the top. She's like, "Oh wow, like I'm so happy to hear that." She's like, "Thank you so much," sort of thing. I'm like, just like a really sincere response. I'm like, yeah, like that's difficult for me to say. Like, that's something like obviously I'm never gonna see her again, and like, like it wasn't really a big deal, but it's still a difficult thing to say to someone. So like, just to like imagine, like if she'd been in that moment to me, like sorry, who are you? Like, why are you speaking to me? Like, I would have been like really hurt by that, So I don't know. Sorry, I've gone off like a massive like ramble trying to like explain the situation. Cos is saying he's not surprised. Like, I wasn't at all surprised to hear it either, based on what I've heard from other stories from Queens as well. But it just still really like annoys me because I think it's the worst example I've heard of like how do I phrase it? Like yeah, the worst example I've heard of like Rue's bad behavior, I guess. I don't know, or the one that sort of resonated with me the most personally in terms of being like the most sort of out of order. Um, Bob's saying it feels like the whole thing is a vehicle for Rue to make money and basically promote herself as some kind of spiritual healer guru. I think that's again what annoys me. You're totally right. Is that like she, especially with the podcast, she portrays herself as like a spiritual guru. Like like she's she knows she wants to spread love and kindness and make everyone like accepting and understanding of themselves and other people. And I'm sure she does want that, and she has talked about her own like mental health or confidence issues at points. But like you can't like on one hand be saying all this stuff like on the podcast and like on the show, how you can love someone else before you love yourself and all this sort of shit, like all these messages, and then be like that sort of disrespectful and rude to someone in real life. I think that's what sort of annoys me the most about it, personally. Carl's saying I think it's pretty well known Rue's a bit of an arse off camera. Yeah. Mind you, he can be an arse on camera too. Also true. Bob's saying, yeah, I think what happened, what surprised me about the whole Pearl thing was how little it surprised me. Yeah. Again, like I agree with you. Like I wasn't. That's the thing. Like based on like everything I've just said, like a massive tangent I went on. Like it wasn't that it surprised me. It was just like I said. For me, it was like the worst example we've had yet of it. I know there's been like a few pretty bad examples, but like that was where I'm like, that's just really shit. Like I don't know. I just thought it was a really shit thing for Rue to do. But also what the other interesting thing I want to talk about in relation to it is Pearl has completely shot herself in the foot. There's no way she's coming back from All Stars now. And I was really excited for her to come back from All Stars. So I hope like she's not gonna leave Hey Queen kicking herself and regret doing it, because I think it's always good to be honest. Again, I think a lot of people I don't get the whole stand thing where people like blindly follow people. So but I think it's important for people who say look up to Rue to understand that she's not perfect. I think it was quite important she sort of told her story in regards to it, but she has shot herself in the foot. She won't be, I can't see her ever being on the show again, which is a massive shame. So I know I sort of like, I don't know. I wonder if she like she's obviously been drinking on the show, but whether she left and then contacted Hey Queen and was like, oh, like I just realized what I said. Any chance we can cut it? I don't know. It's just a really bold thing to do. I don't know. She slept with a producer. Yeah, I heard that as well. Yeah. I guess she's had a bit of a messy relationship with the show generally. But yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. Because it's something like we talked about Rue and like Rue's behavior quite a lot on these streams. So yeah, I thought it'd be quite an interesting thing to chat about. But yeah, I think that's it for this episode, really. Okay. My recommendation for the week, although it's not a current recommendation, is as we're talking about it, is again, I don't know how you pronounce her name. I think it's Amy Stewart. So surname spelled Studt. And I really like her song and video for Nice Boys, which was her last like charting single. I think it charted years and years ago. You can't find it on YouTube. I think it's on Vimeo. Just Google it, like Amy, where her surname is Nice Boys. It's a cool like little song and video. I recommend checking it out. Yeah, and I think that's it, team. I need to cut out the beginning of this video. I feel like an hour trying to set it up. Yeah, cheers for joining me. And yeah, like I said earlier, let me know what you fancy doing next week. Just come back, we'll hang out, we'll do whatever. I think we'll probably end up watching Drag. I'm happy to watch another episode. If there's anything else you guys want to do, I'm down for that as well. Mix it up a little bit. So yeah, cheers for joining me. If you've got anything else to say, you can we chat down below in the comments, or you can message me. Yeah, cheers for getting involved. I hope you all have a nice evening and a good week, and hopefully I'll see you all next Sunday. Take care. Bye.